Howdy, folks. I'm a discordant melody,
I'm Amber.
and here's some chords of Reddit. Alright, folks, our letter this morning on our Sunday morning special is titled, Am I a jerk for canceling the entire vacation when I found out that my stepdaughters deliberately hid my daughter's passport to get her to stay home? No! Problem solved. I've been married to my wife, Beth, for 5 years, and I have a bio daughter named Jessica. She's 18. And I also have two stepdaughters named Monica and Leah. They are 25 and 28. Both are single moms and live with us currently. There have been issues about my stepdaughters asking my daughters to babysit the kids. Jessica didn't really have a problem with this at first, since this is what she does to earn money, but since her stepdaughters don't pay her that much, she just refuses to babysit. We worked this out by having my wife take care of paying for the babysitting. I planned on a family vacation for 3 days and everyone wanted to go. However, Beth, Monica, and Leah all suggested that Jessica stay home and watch the kids since Beth doesn't want her grandkids to come. They said that it's because the kids are used to Jessica and hiring another babysitter would cause some issues. And also said that Jessica isn't too fond of our destination, but it was obvious that Jessica wanted to go. They are insistent, and Beth offered to pay her double, and there was just a lot of back and forth on this until I demanded that they stop bringing it up. We were supposed to go last week, but when everybody had bagged their bags and was time to go, Jessica found that she couldn't find her passport. We searched her bag and then went home and searched there. Beth and my stepdaughters kept insisting that we go back to the airport or else we would miss our flight. They insisted that Jessica stay at home with the kids. They even told the babysitter to go home because she was no longer needed. I refused to go and I kept searching for the passports till Monica admitted that she had helped Leah hide Jessica's passport to get her to stay home with the kids. I was livid. And I tried to get her to tell me where it was, but she said that Leah had it, and Leah denied it, so I threatened to cancel the vacation. That's when they finally gave it back. I decided to actually cancel the vacation and blew up on both of them and berated them. They stayed upstairs for a while. Beth refused to speak to me and said that I punished my stepdaughters for worrying about their kids and wanting them to stay with someone that they knew. I got told that I overreacted and I ruined the trip for everyone. Edit to mention that kicking my stepdaughters out isn't possible since my wife co-owns the house that we currently live in. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk, but I would definitely think about getting out of this marriage. Your wife and stepdaughters are treating your daughter like she's their live-in babysitter. And
Cinderella, dressed in yellow, went downstairs and found out her passport was stolen.
yeah, like that is just gross on so many levels that they had kids. They made the choice to have kids, and they now expect your daughter, who did not make the choice to have kids, to babysit whenever they want.
Yeah.
And to the point of sabotaging her ability to enjoy a vacation because they'd feel more comfortable, they could pay her less.
Yeah.
No, this is not okay. And your wife is 100% in on it with
Yeah.
the way she's like, oh, well, they're just worried about their kids being with someone who understands them or whatever. They're all just bad people right now. They are not being good people. They do not care about your daughter's well-being one iota. They just want their lives made easier.
Yeah, the big problem I have here is that your wife refuses to do anything about this. She's not stepping in. She's not telling them that they have to take responsibility for their actions. And what they did here was actually illegal. So if your daughter wanted to press charges on them, I'm sure she could to some degree. And this is pretty bad behavior on everyone's part except for your daughters and you. And, the question I want to ask, though, is how long have they been mistreating her? This can't possibly be the first time that they've done something manipulative and shady like this. And if it is, it's good that it's just coming out now and it's going to give you a chance to kind of sit and reflect on things. But I would talk with your daughter and find out if they've actually done other worse things to her, because this is really bad. And the fact that they thought that they could just push you around and that Beth thought you were just going to acquiesce and be like, oh, okay, we'll go on vacation without my daughter, is pretty telling. Like, it shows where her priorities are.
Yeah, well, and she was even the one who didn't want the grandkids coming on vacation. Like, she made that demand.
Yeah.
And so, like, for her to have no problem throwing your daughter under the bus so she gets her vacation with no grandkids, it's just really gross. But of course, her kids don't have to face consequences for having children, you know.
Exactly. It's only your daughter that has to face the consequences.
She doesn't see your daughter as family, nor do her daughters. And this is not a good way to have, a good relationship to have. Like, this is not a family.
Yeah. And then the real question becomes, and I know she's 18, but what happens to your daughter if something happens to you? Right? And what will that mean for her? Will these people mistreat her? Will they abuse her? And it certainly is something that you do have to consider, because you don't want your daughter to end up in a worse situation, right?
Yeah, well, if you don't have a will that, like, writes her into it explicitly, then, you know, if your wife inherits everything, she can just kick your daughter to the curb, or be like, you'll be our babysitter and we'll house you, or whatever.
Yeah. So I would definitely pay attention to the red flags here, OP, and seriously reconsider this relationship at this point in time, especially since your wife refuses to reconcile problems with you. And that's not a good place to be.
Well, not only does she refuse, but she also is, like, actively encouraging her daughter's bad behavior.
Yeah. So, not good. Not good at all. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Raven of my heart says, not the jerk, you don't just have a stepdaughter problem, you have a wife problem. I would rethink your current family situation and how your daughter is being treated. And OP replies, you're right. After seeing where my wife stands in this, I'm beginning to consider some things. And Snag2469 says, not the jerk, what in the world, time to kick the stepdaughters to the curb. And OP replies, I'm afraid that is not an option since my wife co-owns the house. Interesting Bug 8878 says, not the jerk, to be honest, I would have kicked your wife and lazy no good stepchildren right out then and there and ended the marriage. If they were 12, I might understand this level of entitlement and immaturity, but they're late 20s? And what in the world is with your wife? She should have roasted them for pulling this nonsense. Alright folks, it is tea time! Grab your beverages of choice! I've got a beverage of choice right here that happens to be tea. And Amber's got a joke.
What do you call a dinosaur at the rodeo?
Well, you know what I call a dinosaur at a rodeo? Bones. That's what I call them, because they're extinct. Unless we're talking about, like, birds, in which case I probably call them a bird, big bird. I don't know. What do you call a bird at a rodeo?
A dinosaur at the rodeo? A bronchosaurus.
Oh, a bronchosaurus. We went on this one. And I have make a mint. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Sunday. It's a spectacular, special Sunday. Amber, we need some kind of moral guidance, and please say it like you're a very spooky jack-o'-lantern.
Don't let your wife and stepdaughters mistreat your daughter, OP. Ooh.
That would be a very spooky pumpkin that's carved with a face, if I ever saw one. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye.